Welcome back to another episode of Santo's World. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that I feel like is very important. And it's something that I feel like most of us have to deal with. And that's the fear of being ordinary. As human beings, we all kind of want to be special. We all want to be the main character. We all want to feel like we're the one and our existence is meaningful, which it is. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad mentality to have, but sometimes that mentality can actually be our downfall. You know, we're told from very young that, you know, we're bright, we have so much potential, that we're gonna go and do all these big things. And we're basically made to feel like if we don't go and do all those things, then we've kind of wasted our lives. Like, in order for our existence to matter, we have to go and do something big. It's almost like a debt that we owe to ourselves, because we've been told from a young age that we have so much potential that we need to realize, and then we need to do all these things. But that's the thing, I feel like I keep saying this in every video, but life is literally unpredictable. You can't predict what life is going to bring, what obstacles it's going to throw your way. Sometimes you might get a long period of time where everything is so smooth, everything is going well, and sometimes you get a period of time where things just aren't that great. But because you want to feel like the main character, because you want to be special, if we haven't achieved certain things or if we haven't done certain things, then we kind of beat ourselves up about it quite a bit. We get really down about it, and you kind of think to yourself, wow, like, I was told I had all this potential, but what have I actually done with it, kind of thing. And then what starts to happen is we start to kind of compare ourselves to other people, especially through social media. We see other people and we kind of start to beat ourselves up about it. We start to wonder why we don't have certain things, or why we're not in certain places. Are we wasting that potential that we've been told that we have? Now, that's the thing, we are the main characters, but we're the main characters of our own world, not of the whole world. When you forget that you're the main character in your own little corner of the world, that's when that pressure kicks in, that feeling of not having done enough. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself and wanting better. I feel like that's how we should feel, that's what we should want, that's what we should strive for, wanting to be better, but only in a way that matters to us, not to other people. I feel like sometimes our need or our want for certain things is performative. We just want it because we know other people think it's good, we know other people want it, and if we have it, the way other people perceive us is going to be better. And then you get stuck in this trap of chasing things that you don't really even want or enjoy for yourself like that. You just chase it because other people like it, other people want it. But I feel like when you have something that you genuinely want for yourself because you want it, not because anybody's influenced you to want it, but it's literally coming from you, that's when you've hit the jackpot. That's when that desire of wanting to be better actually becomes meaningful. I feel like sometimes we need to ask ourselves why we're chasing the things that we're chasing, why we want the things that we say we want. To actually sit down and actually properly think about it and ask ourselves why. I feel like once we do that, we actually discover so much about ourselves, and it's crazy how much we actually change just from asking ourselves why and really understanding that why. That's something that I kind of went through, I'd say around 2020/2021, even through just trivial things like the way I dress. I remember back in the day, I used to literally dress according to what other people would think is nice. I didn't necessarily dress in a way that I liked. When I'd be shopping for clothes or shoes or whatever, I'd think to myself, oh, nobody wears that. But why does it matter if nobody wears it? The only thing that should matter is whether I like it or not, whether it fits my style. And what I realized was that I didn't even have a style at that time. Like, I literally just dressed according to how the mass was dressing. But when I broke away from that, I started to build my own style. I started to have more fun with it. I started experimenting. And I'll be honest, going away from the grain, it was very uncomfortable. Initially, it would feel like everybody is staring at me, but nobody actually was. Nobody actually cared. But it just felt like that in my mind. And what I had to do was literally just go through that period of thinking everyone is staring at me. I kind of just had to keep going through it until I kind of became numb to it. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Eventually, I just stopped thinking anybody was looking, because they weren't. And I feel like that's reflective of most things in life as well. You kind of have to go through these uncomfortable periods of time until you kind of just get used to that discomfort, to the point where it doesn't become discomfort anymore. It just becomes the norm. You keep doing something that you're uncomfortable with enough times, eventually it stops being uncomfortable. And I feel like we should fear an ordinary life in a way that we fear just going with the grain and never actually breaking off and doing things the way that we want to do them, doing things things the way that we like. Being stuck in a life that you kind of feel like you didn't choose, or you chose because other people wanted you to choose it, or because it's what everybody else was choosing. Kind of reminds me of that scene, I think it was in Happy Feet, where that crow just suddenly decided, you know what, I'm not going with the grain anymore. I'm gonna go and explore. I'm gonna go and see what's out there. I'm just gonna look at new potentials. So yeah, if you're gonna fear an ordinary life, don't fear it in the way of disappointing other people, not living up to other people's expectations of you, but fear it in a way of never actually finding yourself, never actually figuring out what you like or what you want or what you value. Because I kind of feel like it's a shame if we only have one life, but we never used it to kind of figure out how we want to live it for ourselves. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video up until this point. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, share your story. In a lot of my other videos, you guys have been sharing some pretty inspiring stuff. When I do read those comments, I think I've mentioned it in other videos as well, but I do find it really, really inspiring. So, and it does help me out. Pretty sure it's going to help out other viewers as well. So don't be shy, share your story, and I'll see you in the next one.